This is like when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Hajj Mabrur, what's an accepted Hajj. If you look at how, because Hajj is a great pillar of Islam, and it's one that causes everything to be forgiven, the pilgrimage, when done right, Hajj Mabrur, an accepted Hajj, does away with everything before it. How does Allah Azza wa Jal define Hajj Mabrur? Okay? Allah defines it by what you don't do to violate it. By what you don't do to violate it. So Hajj, intimacy in Hajj, the major sins, shamelessness, the arguments, the fighting, the arrogance, it's the things that would cause a person to be standing in Arafah and still find a way to escape the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that day. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives a people when they're amongst the people being forgiven, right? That these people, they are people, if a person is amongst them, they will not miss out on the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So it's about not doing anything, first and foremost, to violate this time from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what it's talking about. What is siyam? What is fasting? Did the Prophet ﷺ say that whoever does not pray Taraweeh with this many rak'at, and whoever does not finish the Quran this many times, Allah has no need for their fasting? No, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever does not leave off, false speech, falsehood, and false speech is in its expansive meaning, which is lying and gossip and backbiting and abusive language. Someone who's harmful with the tongue. Okay, even when they're supposed to be fasting with the tongue, they don't leave off harmful and abusive speech. And by the way, this is speech too, right? So tweeting is speech, posting is speech, all of it is speech. The point is expressions. They don't leave off abusive expression, harmful expression, lying, gossip, backbiting, all of these things. Online, on site, to who we talk to, our families, then that's the person who the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah has no hajj, Allah has no need for them to leave off their food and their drink. Right? What's the point of you leaving off your food and your drink if you're not going to leave off your gossip and your slander and your lying and an abusive tongue? Right? What's the point then? Similar to how the Prophet ﷺ talked about the neighbor, the woman who was abusive with her tongue. Abusive to her neighbor with her tongue, but she fasted extra, prayed extra, did all those things. And the Prophet ﷺ said, there's no good in her, hiya finnar. What's the point? What's the point? So you have to ask yourself, not, oh my God, I had a bad night of Taraweeh. Ya Allah, I had a bad night of Taraweeh. I must be one of those people Jibreel prayed against. No. Am I doing anything that would violate the fast, that would violate these blessed nights? Am I watching something that I should not be watching? Am I saying something I should not be saying? Am I doing something I should not be doing? It's thinking about that. And this is not like in the deep sense of the sins that we do regularly, unknowingly, that the salawats are kafara for, that the prayers are expiation for, and those things. This is a person who's very alertly sinning, right? And dishonoring a time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has honored. Okay, and Allah Azza wa Jalla sending you something. And so when someone says, what's the best way to get Laylatul Qadr accepted? My first thing I'm going to say to you is don't do anything that would cause Laylatul Qadr to be rejected. That's the first thing. If you're going to do something to cause it to be rejected, that's how you find your way out of it. Because it's an incredible night that Allah Azza wa Jalla sends. How do I, how am I going to be punished in Ramadan? Is something going to happen to me in Ramadan? How do I know my fasting is going to be? Don't do anything that's going to cause your fasting to be rejected. Okay? Don't do anything that's going to cause your fasting to be rejected. All right? Through harmful speech or through something that you're doing that's abusive or whatever it may be. Don't do anything that would cause it to be rejected. Okay? So that's the first thing. The rest of it is ihsan. The rest of it is excellence. The rest of it is excellence, is striving for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So all the added du'as on the day of Arafah, for example, that's not the part of Hajj Mabrur, that I had an accepted Hajj, that I had a great du'a session. That's a part of an elevated Hajj, an elevated experience. And so here you are in these last 10 nights, in this Ramadan, am I doing something that would cause me to miss out on the blessing? That would cause me to be just openly neglectful of it, all right? What am I looking at? What am I saying? What am I doing? All right, and it's again obvious. This idea that to leave off one sin is better than gaining 1,000 new good deeds and habits in Ramadan. Okay, to leave off one sin is better than gaining 1,000 new habits in Ramadan, because taqwa, God consciousness, is leaving off sin, the bad things. Ihsan, excellence, is building the good things, building the extra good things. Okay. And I'll probably write something about this too. You know, some of you have been talking about how, mashallah, you've been enjoying all of the incredible content that's online these days. All of the mashayikh that are doing different things here and there. I can tune into this, I can tune into that. I'm watching this series, I'm watching that series. I'm consuming this and consuming this and consuming that. Are you already planning that post-Ramadan you're going to start consuming that next series that is on, you know, whatever it is that you haven't been watching, that was corrupting to the soul and corrupting to the mind and the heart? Are you already thinking about that stuff, right? I've got to put it away. I've got to put it away. Consume spiritually, through my eyes, through my heart, through my tongue, through my ears, what's going to purify me on the inside, what's going to make me better, what's going to bring me closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so again, dear brothers and sisters, what could cause you to miss out on Laylatul Qadr? A WhatsApp message. What could cause you to miss out on Laylatul Qadr? Scrolling through something and just, you know, sticking to something you're not supposed to be sticking to right now. What could cause you to miss out on Laylatul Qadr? A really dumb conversation you should not be having in Laylatul Qadr. It's probably not a good idea to have conversations on the night of Laylatul Qadr with a bunch of people, or to drag on a conversation and say, you know what, let's talk later. I want to focus right now. What could cause you to miss Laylatul Qadr? What will cause you to lose out on the acceptance of Laylatul Qadr? Something that rejects Laylatul Qadr. Allah is too merciful. Allah is too merciful to leave you with the burden of despair. Okay? You know, like, oh, I messed up, I'm done. No, strive, mujahada, strive and strive and strive. And the first thing is, don't do anything that's going to make this devoid, this great season, devoid of your acceptance and your forgiveness. And then build on that, knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is husn adhan in Allah, having a good expectation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Build on that good expectation of Allah. Build on it. And inshallah ta'ala, you will elevate yourself, and you'll elevate spiritually, and you will be amongst those, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that Jibreel alayhi salam not only doesn't pray against, but that Jibreel prays for and visits and says salam to, along with the other angels, and take us back up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the one whom Allah has no need of their fasting is the one who doesn't give up the harm of the tongue. The one whom Allah has no need of their prayer at night is the one who doesn't give up the sins of the night. The one who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not, you know, is just, would reject in this regard, is a person who insists. وَلَمْ يُصِرُّوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلُوا وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. A person who insists upon living, you know, in a certain way and doing certain things that would cause them to miss out on that barakah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not just make us amongst those that are not prayed against, but those that are prayed for. May Allah azza wa jal not just exempt us from those that Jibreel alayhi salam made dua against, but make us amongst those for whom Jibreel alayhi salam sends salam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst those who receive His salam, from as-salam, His peace, from the source of peace, that are mentioned by Him in these blessed nights, mentioned by Him in this Ramadan. May we be amongst those whom Allah boasts about, not those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disgraces. May we be amongst those whose Ramadan is accepted. May Allah azza wa jalla allow us to catch Laylatul Qadr. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Hope this video was helpful for you. This may help others too, so please consider sharing, and we will bring more videos in the future, inshallah. So consider subscribing and you won't miss any. Jazakallahu khairan.